A natural gas boom in the United States is creating much needed jobs and keeping electricity costs low, but it's come at a high cost for some homeowners in West Virginia. Some energy companies are crossing private property lines to cut down trees and build massive drill rigs under a law that allows them to do what's, quote, reasonable and necessary to extract the natural gas under people's land.
They are raking in millions of dollars with arguably little compensation for the homeowner. Powerless, the high cost of cheap gas, is the latest episode of CBSN Originals. It was produced in partnership with ProPublica. Here's a preview.
I come from generations of farmers. When you're a farmer, this is your backyard. This is what you care for.
Most people probably think, well, I bought this farm. I own it. Well, what likely is true is you own the surface.
We did know that we were surface owners. We just couldn't imagine that that would ever be a problem. The first time I heard the compressor station having some sort of blowout, we were terrified.
On the one hand, you have the business interest, and then on the other hand, you have property rights.
It's a lot better for the economy, but why should I have to make the sacrifice?
There is no energy savior. It's a hard business, and you have to make choices about what you want to do.
Companies are just going in and assuming that they have the right.
All I want to do is sue the hell out of them to get something on the books.
I want my farm back. I want my life back. I want my old West Virginia back.
ProPublica's Mayeta Clark is one of the producers of this documentary and joins us on the set. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
So how did you come across this story?
So ProPublica has an initiative called the Local Reporting Network, where we partner with 21 local newsrooms across the country. And one of those newsrooms is the Charleston Gazette-Mail, and there's a highly respected journalist there called Ken Ward Jr. And one of the things that has really interested Ken is how the natural gas industry is affecting his state. And he brought that story to us, and that's how I got involved.
Wow. So people may not understand that a piece of land has surface rights and mineral rights. Explain what that means.
So most people, when they buy property, they think, I've bought from, the center of the earth to high in the sky. But in some places, that's actually not the case. You may just have bought the surface layer, and there are mineral layers underneath, and those mineral layers can be owned by different people. And in West Virginia, the problem is particularly acute. And actually, it wasn't really a problem until about a decade ago.
Right. I can see that the state issued only a few dozen of these sort of horizontal drilling permits until 2007, or before 2000. After that, we've got 5,000 of them. What is driving this?
What's really driving it is technology. Incredible technological advances developed in Texas and tested in the Appalachian Basin. And when they were tested in Appalachia, they were incredibly successful. So gas companies were able to draw sometimes hundreds of times more gas than the old vertical drilling methods. And that's what really kicked off this boom.
Legislators, the President of the United States, industry lobbyists point to natural gas as an engine of job growth in the state of West Virginia. How crucial is the natural gas boom for the state?
Excuse me. The number of jobs that the industry has delivered to West Virginia is not insignificant. So, 2017, 2018 brought in thousands of pipeline construction jobs, and these are well-paid jobs, over $100,000 compared to an average wage of $45,000 in West Virginia. So there has been a huge impact in terms of jobs. But there is a caveat to that, and that is that these pipeline building jobs will decline in the next few years. And so whether the industry will replace those jobs, that's something we'll have to wait and see.
That is the thing about it. We've seen this happen for this region with coal, that, it brought jobs, it brought money, and then there was a decline in demand and a decline in the appetite, in a way, for coal, right? And so now we have natural gas. It's another non-renewable resource. Are they running the risk of seeing this happen again? What happened with coal happened again with natural gas. And so they're out of jobs, out of money, and they've done damage to their environment.
I think that's the great fear, you know, and before coal it was timber. And I think West Virginians have often felt like a bit of a natural resource colony in that sense. And I think whenever a state is tied so strongly and so dependent on one main industry to provide jobs, to provide income and taxes, that state will struggle to balance the interests of industry and the needs of its people and communities. And I think that's what some of the concerns are here.
So do you see this becoming an issue beyond West Virginia in other states in the region?
It's already an issue in other Marcellus drilling states like Ohio, like Pennsylvania. It's particularly acute in West Virginia where there's more severance of minerals from the surface.
And there's a lot of talk within, you know, the presidential candidates and everyone, you know, there's a lot of talk about these sustainable options. But we really don't have the structure in place to hire all these people that have lost their jobs. Not yet. It'll happen eventually, but it's not happening now. And you got to put meat and bread on the table. Right?
Yeah, I think that is a huge concern. It's not clear that the same coal workers who have been losing their jobs are subsequently finding work in natural gas. And the other thing that's not clear is how long these natural gas jobs will last. Certainly there's been a huge spike over the last couple of years, but whether that will continue out into the future and to benefit the state is a real question mark. Yeah.
Interesting topic, interesting documentary. Mayeta Clark, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank you.
And you can stream the documentary Powerless, the high cost of cheap gas, right now at cbsnews.com/powerless. A full hour special also premieres this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on CBSN.